And the relaxations and the restrictions have been announced by the Yediyurappa government. They are going to be coming in effect from today. The timings of night curfew will be relaxed from 7 to 5. There is the timing that is relaxed. We'll just bring you the timing in just about a bit. We'll get you what is allowed and what is not allowed as far as the timing is concerned too. But there are relaxations that are coming in Karnataka and they've eased the lockdown for 15 days. Let's take a look at what's allowed, what's not. The timing of the night curfew will be relaxed from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. and 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Let's take a look at what's allowed, what's not allowed. Theatres, pub, educational institutions, colleges would be closed. Stadiums, swimming pools would be open only for training purposes, whereas large congregations, political or religious gatherings have been prohibited. Weddings and family gatherings are allowed with the presence of not more than 100 people. In cremation and funerals, maximum 20 people would be allowed. Shops, malls, restaurants are supposed to be enforcing COVID norms, failing which action is going to be taken under Disaster Management Act. The relaxations are going to be in place for the next 15 days in the state. In the last 24 hours, the State Health Department has reported 1,564 fresh cases, 4,775 discharges and 59 deaths.
Positivity rate plunges in Karnataka. Sharp decline in COVID-19 cases. And steady upward curve in recovery rate. BSY government announces further lockdown relaxations in the state from Monday. As per the new guidelines, shops, restaurants, malls and private offices are allowed to operate as per COVID protocols.
We are cleaning the mall and making sure that we are cleaning railing, glass, everything we are doing. Only vaccinated people we have allowed inside the mall, means who are all the employees, salesmen, security, housekeeping, whoever it is.
All it is sanitized good, and we have kept mask also for customer. Without mask we'll be not allowing customers also, and we have kept a proper sanitization in the store.
We are cleaning the entire store, and even we have done with the sanitizations as well, and we are arranging with our new stocks. So, and we are also following all the social distancing COVID protocols, and even our team is also 100% vaccinated.
While swimming pools, sports complexes and stadiums will be opened only for training purposes. Public transport allowed with full seating capacity. Marriages and family functions are permitted with not more than 100 people. Cremation to be allowed with maximum of 20 people. No gatherings at religious places and only prayers can be offered. Theatres, cinema halls and pubs will remain closed. All social, political and religious activities are prohibited. Educational institutions and colleges to also remain closed until further orders. Meanwhile, night curfew will continue from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. and the latest relaxations and restrictions will be in place for the next 15 days. Bureau Report, India Today.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is all set to set out plans for the final step of easing lockdown in England today. The plan is also going to include guidance on social distancing, face coverings and working from home. The legal restrictions to prevent the spread of COVID-19 due to be lifted on 19 July and the decision on the go-ahead is scheduled for 12th of July. Johnson is expected to stress that people will learn to live with COVID as they do already have with flu. This implies that hospitalization, serious illness and deaths will continue but at a much lower rate than before the vaccination. Data shows that Britain has vaccinated 86% of adults receiving the first dose, 64% receiving 2 doses up until now. However, Delta variant has led to a surge in the number of cases and delayed the easing of lockdown by 4 weeks. Everyone needs a vaccine passport. It is all set to become the most sought after document in the world. And for all the love and need for international travel, but the process of incorporating this into our systems is not going to be easy. Far from it. Sneha Mordani is going to be listing out the possible impediments to come. Here's a look.
1.5 years ago, all you needed was a visa and an air ticket to fly out of the country. Planning to go abroad now? A vaccine certificate will also be needed. The European Union is asking for it. So are nations like Israel. A vaccine passport could well be a necessity of the future. For now, it's still work in progress. It could be in the form of a stamp or a certificate. Whatever form it comes in, what is clear is that incorporating it in the system will see many challenges. In days to come, these vaccine certificates will come in various forms: digital, physical, or just a barcode. But introducing it in the passport system would mean a longer processing time. Having it within an app may not be feasible for all. Paper certificates run the risk of ending up in fraud.
Paper forms are being widely used, they are very convenient, but they carry with them the risk of duplication and forgery. The other option being discussed is that of a mobile app. But this again assumes that everyone has access to a smartphone, which is not the case.
Affordability, procedures and privacy issues will make vaccine passports difficult to implement is what experts are saying. To top it all, airports and airlines are working independently with international air travel associations to have some sort of a digital pass. Then countries are also working in isolation, and there is lack of uniformity when it comes to the World Health Organization, because the World Health Organization has said, as of now, vaccine passports are not required. The process has become even more complicated, with some vaccines not accepted by countries. The European Union initially rejected Serum Institute's Covishield. Many countries are still to recognize Covaxin. With many more vaccines on the horizon, the issue will only get further complicated.
The vast majority of individuals in low and middle income countries can't access vaccines. It might create an immunity-based class system where the individuals who haven't been able to access vaccination now can't access areas, and geographic areas are closed off to them.
What is clear is that international travel is bound to normalize sometime in the near future to pre-COVID levels, which means nations will have to arrive at an acceptable solution very quickly to end the suspense for travelers. In New Delhi, Sneha Murdani for India Today.
There's an increasing thrust on vaccination across the globe. There are also talks of vaccine passports to facilitate movement of people from across the borders. So what exactly is a vaccine passport and how can you get it in India? Here's all that you need to know.
The world abruptly came to a stop when the pandemic broke out in early 2020. Now, with the decline in cases of COVID-19 and increased vaccinations, there is a need to get back to business. And for this, a vaccine passport might just make things easier when it comes to international travel. So what really is a vaccine passport? Vaccine passport or immunity passport is documentary proof that the person has been vaccinated against COVID-19. Who's asking for a vaccine passport? Countries of the European Union, 27 of them, are asking for a vaccine passport. China has rolled out an app-based vaccine certificate. Japan too has done it. The UK announced it in the month of May. Israel also has announced one. What about India then? The government recently updated the Arogya Setu app, making it possible for people to link their passport to their vaccination status. For it, you have to go through the CoWIN portal. Vaccinated people can log in to cowin.gov.in, go to account details section and click on raise issue. 3 options could be seen. Choose add passport details option. This is going to take you to a different page where one can select the name of the person whose passport details are to be updated in this. Choose the name of the concerned person from the drop-down menu and fill the passport number in the Enter Beneficiary's Passport Number section. In step 5, you're required to tick the declaration box. Do cross-check and verify details before ticking the box and clicking on Submit Request tab. You will receive a message on the registered mobile number notifying that the status was updated successfully. In the final step, you need to go back to account details page and click on Certificate tab. Your vaccine passport is now available for download.
A fresh controversy in Rajasthan has erupted after BJP on Friday lashed out at Gehlot government and they accused it of buying oxygen concentrators at inflated prices. The state government has denied charges, with the health department clarifying the stance. Dev Ankur Vadhavan with this report.
Ashok Gehlot-led Rajasthan government in the dock after allegations of corruption over the acquisition of oxygen concentrators. Opposition BJP has claimed that the state government purchased oxygen concentrators that were faulty at inflated prices and dealt with dubious companies. The charges of corruption came right from the Union Health Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan, who said the pandemic profiteering is in vogue in Congress-ruled states. BJP State President Satish Punia accused the CM of profiteering during tragedy.
ये जो कंसंट्रेटर मिला वो भी हमारे को 26-27 तारीख पर मिला, जब तक कि ऑक्सीजन का जो कोरोना का जो पीक था वो उतार पे था, केसेस कम होने लग गए थे, बेड खाली होने लग गए थे। तो ऐसी स्थिति में ये सिर्फ कमीशन खोरी, कांग्रेस का कमीशन खोरी से ही जुड़ा हुआ मामला है।
Gehlot government has denied all allegations, says that it maintained transparency during the purchase. Notification issued by the Rajasthan Health Department stated that global quotations for oxygen concentrators were sought and they were purchased at a lesser rate after negotiations. Ajmer District Collector has clarified that a report will be filed by a 3-member team.
मेरे द्वारा कंपनी प्रतिनिधियों के साथ, एमएलए साहब के प्रतिनिधियों के साथ इसी कक्ष में चर्चा भी की गई और उसके बाद कंपनी प्रतिनिधि से बिंदुवार जवाब भी ले लिया है। जब प्रभारी मंत्री जी आए थे उस समय भी ये मुद्दा उठाया गया था, तो सीएमएचओ साहब ने जांच उस समय 3 सदस्यीय जेएलएन टीम को दी हुई है।
Several union ministers, including Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan, have latched upon it to hit out at the Gehlot government, accusing it of profiteering during pandemic through purchase of oxygen concentrators at exorbitant rates. The Gehlot government, on the other hand, has claimed that complete transparency was maintained in the purchase of oxygen concentrators during the second wave, for which global quotations were also invited. With Nikhil Sharma, Dev Ankur Vadhavan in Jaipur, India Today.
84-year-old tribal rights activist in Bhima Koregaon accused Stan Swamy has been put on ventilator at the Holy Family Hospital in Mumbai after his health deteriorated. Swamy has been admitted to the private hospital since 30th of May after getting COVID positive. On Saturday, his lawyer informed the Bombay High Court that Swamy's condition continues to be critical. Earlier, yesterday, the National Human Rights Commission had issued a notice to the Maharashtra government. The NHRC asked the Chief Secretary of the state to ensure every possible medical treatment to the imprisoned activist. The rights body also sought a report on his condition following his allegation of being denied medical facility in Navi Mumbai's Taloja jail. Ever since the activist was arrested in connection with the Bhima Koregaon case, he has claimed being deprived of basic facilities. On 6th of November, he had made a request for a sipper and straw before a special court as he cannot hold a tumbler due to Parkinson's disease, following which group of lawyers sent him sippers and straws in the jail.